Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wingcat Sports, and it's Lions postgame. My uncle finally joining us again for a Christmas disappointment from the Lions.
Before Harold keeps babbling, I just wanted to say that, I've been following this team for 40 plus years. I'm 57, so ever since I was in my early teens, and me and my brother have put up with untold decades of shit sandwiches. Just year after year, we expect these guys to do better and better. Oh, it's going to be different. We're trying to get better. We're trying to make the playoffs. We're going to hire a new coach, get a new player. It doesn't matter. We get kicked in the balls every goddamn year. And I think we may have had our chance to hopefully see this team succeed a few years ago. I think that's where it ended. If that might be it for us in our lifetime. To have the playoff implications that were on the line and to come out and play like this to a absolutely shitty Minnesota team. Max Brosmer, a third-string quarterback.
Before you say he beat you, he did not, because he only threw for 51 yards.
But it just doesn't matter.
He's the quarterback.
He was the quarterback, but he did nothing to help them win.
I know.
Before you say he beat you, he did not beat them.
Well, you couldn't score more than he could. You didn't score more than their offense.
I don't know. The proof is in the pudding.
He got sacked 7 times.
I don't have any faith in this team any longer.
You have killed them.
Fuck you,
Same old Lions.
You are a
Same old Lions.
I think everyone thought they would struggle a little bit this year, but because of the coordinators leaving and because of the offensive linemen leaving, not being the same and some rookies and stuff. But nobody thought they'd be below 500, which is what they're going to be.
Probably.
Chicago is going to kill you.
Yes.
They are going to kill you.
That game's not even worth
It'll be at 1 o'clock. Don't watch it. Anyway.
Continue.
I'll get into everything.
I thought it was a prime time.
Go ahead. Wanted to say
like I said, let me get my usual spiel in the beginning, go over stats, do all that stuff, and then we'll go over stuff. So, looking at everything, the game, obviously 23-10 was the final. Realistically, what lost you this game, I would say, is somewhat the offense with the turnovers, but also really the offense with the turnovers is what killed you. Because looking at stat-wise, Jared Goff, he threw for almost 200 yards, 1 TD, but 2 interceptions. Now, he only threw 5 before this game. He's up to 7 now. And then you fumbled like 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times. I think. Did you have stats there? Because I would have thought it would be more than that.
I think he fumbled 3 times.
You fumbled 4. My bad. 4 times.
So
3 for a loss. 3 for a loss. So 5 turnovers.
Okay. 5 turnovers.
So realistically, you only also ran for 68 yards, which we have said is about.
I'm sorry.
So I'm getting into everything. Don't worry. They ran for 68 yards total, which again, as I've mentioned multiple times this year, especially in their losses, that's their bread and butter. You don't run the ball, you lose. It's as simple as that. Is what has happened. Goff got sacked 5 times.
I wish you would have gotten sacked 12.
I mean, that would have been a record almost.
Yes.
But looking at it, as I was mentioning before, you said he'd beat it. Brosmer, he didn't beat you. Again, your own offense with the turnovers beat you. Brosmer only threw for 51 yards, got sacked 7 times, so that brought his total of passing yards to 3.
There's no way in hell they should have let that team beat them.
No. Minnesota ran for 158 yards on us, and again, it was mostly the defense that ended up, kind of killing you. Minnesota's defense with the turnovers as it happened. Again, this ends your season. You're 8-8. Best possible scenario for what happened out of this, you get to play a 4th place schedule next year. If you can come back healthy and at least with a little bit of energy, you should be a good team next year. Should be. Will that happen? I don't know. As these two are probably going to start becoming, they're going to revert back to their old ways. And same old Lions is going to come out of both their mouths for the next 2-3 years.
But that's what they are until you start showing
same old Lions.
Something otherwise.
That's what's going to come up.
We're tired of it. Me and my brother are tired of it.
Which is fair.
We don't give a flying fuck anymore.
But, I mean, if you listen to me at the beginning of this season, my prediction was 10-7. The below was 9-8. We are still relatively in that scenario. But you're not. If you know, I'm one loss off. One loss off with my initial prediction, with the 9, 8, 10, 7 prediction that was possibly there. Because again, your schedule wasn't the greatest this year. You've had injury after injury after injury of important role players on your team. You're playing with a third string offensive line. Jared Goff runs for his life, but he runs, as my uncle puts it, as an injured giraffe. And he can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
So he's going to get himself killed. And nothing has gotten going for you.
Aside from the player, you know what? Holmes and Campbell definitely have to take some accountability for what you see on the field these days. If you look back at everything, all the players that Holmes drafted or signed free agency, what have they amounted to? Just think of these guys. You got Broderick Martin. He's on the Chiefs practice squad now. That Rakestraw, where's he been? He's been injured ever since the day we got him. Davenport, do you even hear that guy's name anymore?
Because he's injured all the time.
All the time. Why? Why do you have these?
Because you have a terrible strength and condition. He didn't even play. I don't know why this sign keeps showing up. He didn't even play. Strength and conditioning is a major issue with this team because, again, going to your point, injuries of potential people they have wanted. Now we drafted, as you said, Rakestraw injured, but he gets injured somewhere else. You constantly are getting role players injured that are important to your team, and somebody is responsible. Whether it's, I've heard Dan Campbell's being too aggressive with the practicing, right? They're hitting too early. They're being too aggressive, wearing down the bodies more. Could be possible. But more or less, it's probably your strength and conditioning coach isn't helping these guys be in shape enough to avoid injury.
Well, someone's going to take the action.
Someone.
It isn't going to be Morton. It isn't going to be the defensive guy. I forgot his name. But
Shepard. It's somebody.
Yeah. Somebody is going to take a fall for this.
Your downside with everything that has happened and now where you're sitting at, missing the playoffs. As Lions fans, we're used to missing the playoffs. You just have more hope because they played.
The bar was raised.
They gave you too much hope. You took the pill and you thought they were going to be fantastic again.
Blue Kool-Aid, as they say.
And you got too used to winning somehow in 2 years. You are going to be back. You might end up like a Mike Tomlin situation. Dan Campbell might be 9-8 to 10-7 every single year except for a couple of years.
And then what do you do? The honeymoon's wearing off on him.
Well, I think
it really is.
I think more people are getting upset about the fourth downs as time goes on.
Yes.
Which again, as you live by the sword, die by the sword. 2 years ago, it was working all the time. We loved it.
Well,
this year, it failed more than it worked.
Why
we
did
hated
it fail more? Because your offensive line sucks. That changes the situation, and you're not the team from the first year you coached where we didn't care because we knew you weren't making the playoffs. And you were fun to watch. That's fun. But this year, you're a legit team.
Mm-hmm.
You don't...
Except half the team's off the roster already.
Whose fault is that, Mike?
But he can't read the room. And he refuses to read the room. So he refuses to look at the situation you have and say, okay, one time I could probably go for it when I had a great offensive line, a top 5 offensive line. I could run it up the middle. I could get these things. But you're not in that situation. You have to take points whenever you can get them.
Your front office isn't helping you in that
respect. They're not.
They should have signed Zeitler. Tesla. I love the guy.
When he gets the ball, he's good.
You gave up 2 third-round draft picks for him when you could have gotten offensive help, defensive help.
Offensive line.
The
only thing that matters, and I know people are going to get pissed off, St. Brown's great. All these people are great. You decided Jared Goff was your quarterback. The minute you did that, all your money needed to be invested in that offensive line to keep him upright. Whatever else you had around him, he needed people who could block. He needed people who could keep him on, give him time to throw.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think you're going to win with him. You look at most winning teams these days who won the Super Bowl, they got mobile quarterbacks.
Now, when you look at everything going on.
Matt Stafford isn't a mobile quarterback.
He's
going to go to the Super Bowl.
When you look at it all, here's our really bad spot going into next year. Bright side, most of the players that are your core are signed. Downside is this offseason you're going in with about $6 million in cap space.
Yeah, you don't have many groups.
Now, again, this isn't a full future thing. This is only next year because in 2 years you got like $50 million in cap space.
Well, okay.
So, how much growth do you expect to happen next year? Do you expect your talent from the past 2 years to be able to play against a fourth place schedule next year, or do you expect another 9-8 potentially worse season to happen because you should have the talent enough to be 500 next year? You should.
Right.
And you should.
You've got to solidify at least 2 or 3 positions on the offensive line. You have to. If you're expecting any success, because if they come back with the same offense and the same offensive line, you're going to be 7 and 9 again, 10 again.
And here's also
or 8 and 9, whatever.
And what kind
you're not going to win money games. Like this is atrocious.
Yeah.
Who is that guy? I mean, like I said, I don't blame him because he wouldn't be playing if everyone wasn't hurt. But that center we had was terrible.
He had a bad game.
He was awful.
Bad game.
There was a couple of them. They were
and guess what? And guess what that means?
I might as well have gone out there.
And guess what that means? You're either drafting a center or you're trying to persuade Ragnow to come out of retirement. Those are your two options.
If you were Ragnow right now, would you come out?
No, I would not.
No.
But
maybe.
Anyways, looking at your schedule next year, just because we're probably going to be fourth place, you're likely going to be playing the Tennessee Titans right now, who are 3-12, and probably not going to get that much better. You're going to end up playing the New York Giants, who probably will be a much better team next year, and you'll be playing the Arizona Cardinals, who will probably not be that much better of a team because they're trying to trade Kyler Murray.
I don't really care about the schedule because you never know.
You never do.
What's going to be next year? We all said
everybody's going to sign trades.
last year the schedule was horrible, terrible. We didn't have a defense, and we went 15.
We were laughing at the Bears last year.
We had a first place schedule. We went 15-2 with a freaking horrible defense last year, or heavily decimated. Who cares? I don't care what our schedule is. I don't care who we play. Fix the offensive line.
Well, you're right. You have to do something. I'm just saying.
The offensive line. That's all that matters in this offseason.
I'm just saying. This is what you're looking at to plan for the future. You have an opportunity next year to fix stuff, do what you need to do, and be competitive. You're not playing uber competitive teams at the moment. Obviously, like you said, every year anything can change. Teams can change.
Is Decker done?
I would say so.
I would be.
If I was him, you're going to need a left tackle.
If I was him, I would say so.
You don't have a center
unless you go one more year. But
you're not winning the Super Bowl next year.
Or it's called rebuild.
You need a center and you need a guard.
Expect Montgomery to be traded.
You got to get that through the draft or free agency. You need that. It shouldn't even be. I don't even think they should consider anything else. If defense is going to be shit, the defense will be shit. You have to get those 3 positions solidified.
Mm-hmm.
Mahogany should be a backup. He should be backup until he proves otherwise. But you look at his middle. That if I was Jared Goff,
Cologne shouldn't even be on the field.
No, he's a backup.
He's a back.
He shouldn't be on the backup.
No, he was hurt too, wasn't he? He didn't play this game.
Who?
Cologne.
He did. No, yeah, he was hurt too. Yeah, he didn't play this game.
He was hurt too.
No, he's just one of them.
So he might be an okay backup. I don't know.
Here's again.
But you need. I'm sorry.
You
have Ratledge and your 2 tackles,
Giovanni Manure
and Sewell. That's it. So that's all. Okay. You can say whatever you want, but to me, this is all about the offense.
What's that? I'm trying to talk.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say something.
Hey, you're used to not having us.
I'm just saying it's usually 10 times easier. But anyways, here's what's probably going to happen this offseason. You probably are going to go look at offensive line drafted. Montgomery is being traded. I think the writing's been on the wall this year. You barely used him compared to Gibbs. Yeah. You're probably going to draft somebody in the 3rd, 4th round that's a power back to replace him. Sadly, I like Montgomery. I think if they actually properly use Montgomery and Gibbs like they did last year in the tandem they had, they probably would win more games this year.
The best running tandem in football.
They were. But you decided, I don't want to use them as much this year. writing's been on the wall. I think you're wanting to trade him. You need the extra cap space to build up your offensive line on top of other positions. You have to hope Laporta comes back perfectly fine from a spine injury, because that's been your other issue. On top of offensive line being injured, you're on to your third or fourth tight end, who also blocks typically in the run game. So you're also screwed at that part, because you are constantly hurt in every position that kept your running backs and quarterbacks in the way that they were going to be most productive, which has led to your downfall this year. And it's much as injuries are a poor excuse, I think it's a decent excuse when you're on your third to fourth strings in every single position that matters. Besides, obviously, QB, wide receiver on your offense. But you're in a hole. You're in a hole right now. You got to dig yourself out of said hole. And you will figure it out, hopefully. Brad Holmes has had good marks. Past couple years, late round draft picks have not been as good. But they'll figure it out, hopefully. As I know, the hope is gone between these two. They're reverting back to their old ways. Hopefully, you figure things out.
We're wait and see, guys. Now, so
I'm
Mike's right, though. It starts with the offensive line. You have a quarterback that basically runs on one leg, and if you're not going to give this guy protection, you're not going to get anywhere.
Nope.
Right.
And even with the running backs, again, as much as Gibbs and Montgomery can run over everybody, they can't run over 3 or 4 guys at once.
Right. And again, people want to disparage that whole SOL thing. You are SOL until you win a Super Bowl.
Yes, that's our bar at least. I don't know.
I'm not saying I don't enjoy this. The last 2.5 seasons, we have been the best team in this division. So, from excluding this year, we had 2.5 seasons where we were the best team in the NFC almost. We blew our chance at a Super Bowl because of Dan Campbell's coaching, I think. Mm-hmm. I would blame it in the 49er game. And he, my problem isn't then, like I said, but the problem is he's still the same exact person. It's like he can't ever think outside the box. He's got this formula where whenever it's 4th and 2 or 4th and 1, and we're in this area, we're always 100% going to go for it.
But
we're never going to take
here's
the
thing.
Ever.
Here's the thing. You are complaining about that now, right? I'm only going to say this once because of how consistent it has started to become. If you have not realized, since Dan Campbell has started doing that, how many more coaches now are going on 4th and 2, 4th and 3?
I'm sure
a lot more.
Yes, but we're not the same team.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. It's not. I don't think it's necessarily the going for it that's been the issue. It has been you haven't realized your team is not the same part that is the
there's
issue.
No judgment here. It's like he is like got this written on a tablet like the 10 Commandments, and he won't ever deviate no matter what the situation is.
Yep.
Now, whether that could be a situation of showing he has confidence, right? Like before I would do it, but now, you all suck, I'm still going to try it because confidence, I want to show I believe in you. But that's not always the best way to go, again, when you have no protection for any of your key positions. But again, you are going into next year in a more prime opportunity to have at least somewhat of a bounce back. You have an opportunity to bounce back. You're not supposed to be facing as good a competition. You're probably going to struggle with the Patriots and the Bills and everyone the rest of your division, because that is another thing from last year that's different. Last year, you went 6-0 in the division. This year, you're going to go 1-5.
Well, right.
That is 5 losses that
you lost both games against Minnesota, who suck.
Both games again.
Suck.
Both games again. And you're about to lose in Chicago, probably.
One against Chicago, right?
And again, think about that. So if you switch last year's record, take 5 wins off, you were 10-7.
Right.
That's all it is, division play.
Right.
Division play. You didn't do good in division this year, and that was your downfall. They knew how you were. They called your bluffs. They called your gambles. They were ready for it, and they beat you. There is no reason you should have lost to Minnesota.
I don't think they beat us for any other reason than we were decimated on the offensive line. We could not do what we could do. We're capable of doing. We could not do it. There's no way around this. No offensive game plan was going to give us wins. When our offensive line plays the way it does right now, it's atrocious. It's atrocious.
Which is You're used to with the same old Lions.
He has no time.
This is you looking back at a same old Lions offensive line.
He really wasn't pressured though on those interceptions. If I remember right.
I think same old Lions to me was basically before the Holmes era, and basically it meant that you had people who didn't give a crap about winning. The GMs on the Lions and the coaches, they were, with maybe an exception here or there. Who was that old coach we had? The Colt coach, right?
Jim Caldwell.
Jim Caldwell, I think.
Who got us to the playoffs twice. I think they shouldn't have fired.
Overcame the fact that the organization was total crap. And he was a good enough coach to at least give us some winning records.
Yeah. I mean, Jim Schwartz gave you a winning record or two. If Caldwell
was coaching this team with these players, I think we'd be doing better.
Then we got rid of Caldwell because they said that
Matt Patricia.
9-7 wasn't good enough. And then they got Matt Patricia, who I don't even think he won 9 games in 4 years.
No, he's about to get it.
I think for the first time, it's the first time ever in our lives, we've been saying it over the last 3 or 4 years, is that we have an organization, right or wrong, that has a plan. Sometimes we think they're stupid. We have an owner, I believe, wants to win. I think she does. Yeah, I get the opposite feeling. I never had that feeling with her parents or anybody else that winning was a priority. We'll see. We're willing to give them an off season. We know the problem is clear as day.
You might
know what it is.
You have to look ahead at what you got. Like I said,
so if he comes back next year with not improving the offensive line, then we know these guys are full of crap and they don't give a shit.
Like I said, when you look at the big picture of everything right now as a kind of a final remark as we near the end of my time allotment for this, because it has been my much longer video than usual. You look at it, even good teams aren't good every single year. You're going to hit your rough spots, you're going to hit your bumps in the road, and you're going to eventually hit a point where you have a bad season or two. And that may have happened earlier than we want, but again, you have an opportunity to bounce back. This offseason might not be the offseason people want because they think they have more cap space than they do. Either you're going to lose fan favorites like Montgomery so they can make cap space to make these kinds of improvements, or they're going to say, if we were healthy, we are going to roll it back. And we probably will be a better team. And again, however that works, will that work out better because you're playing a weaker schedule, or will it be just the same? Only time is going to tell. But again, you look at the NFC East, it had a different winner every single year. The Eagles fell off like 2 years ago to a 9-8 record, and then the next year won the Super Bowl. Right? It's going to be ups and downs still. I think what most Lions fans need to at least be happy about is if this is a better season than your 12-4 or 2-14, your 3-13 season, stuff like that. You are not. I think under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, you will never have a season like that again. And the second that happens, they will be fired, where you only win less than 5 games.
What you hope?
Yeah. I would hope they get fired because
I think what this should tell you is no more of these. You can't stop people because that's what podcasts are. At least the ones outside of us, they're much more positive, or they try to hype the team and. We're not trying to hype the team. We're just trying to tell you our opinion about the whole thing.
Yeah,
we don't care. And I just feel, like I said, people need to take the attitude that let's see what happens. We don't have to be optimistic. We don't have to be. But we understand, like I said, we know what the problem is. Everybody does. They know. Brad, if they don't fix it, then I'm going to feel like the same old Lions are back, because that's the difference. We have an organization that I believe wants to win. I never believed that they really truly wanted to win before Sheila took over. So we'll see what happens.
Is it? Any final remarks on that?
No. I'm going to try to make next week's show if we even bother watching that Chicago game. Are we going to watch that?
I will be at work. So I'll make a video when I come back from work. Probably going to be 1 o'clock now. That doesn't mean anything.
Do you think they're going to switch
I'm a
it?
fan.
It's already been one.
It
was never a later game.
I thought it was an 8:20 game.
No.
I'm just frustrated.
Oh, okay, great.
And
it'll probably be a 1 p.m. game on Sunday. And guess what? For those of you who prefer your 1 p.m. games, with this terrible record that we had this year,
get it over with.
Don't expect a lot of 4 o'clock games next year. You expect a lot of 1 o'clock
Fine
games.
with me.
I think we're going to be lucky to just get the Thanksgiving.
I'm a fan. I'm just a disappointed one, a skeptical one, and I'm not going to be dragged into believing, the hype anymore. The proof is in the pudding. Show me what you do on Sunday.
Skeptical is what you should be. They have not shown. And there are other teams out there. You can compare them to what Buffalo's going through now. But Buffalo
didn't have a good year.
But Buffalo has had one of the best quarterbacks in the league for the last 7 years and has nothing to show for it.
Yep.
But this is his year. This is his year. No Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson.
Right. So
nobody in his way besides Bo Nix and the Broncos at number 1.
I think Bo Nix and the Broncos
and
are
honest to God, for us, I hate the Packers with passion. But
Go Bears.
I have nothing against Chicago. I really don't. I wish Ben Johnson the best. I'd like to see them make a run in deep in the
honestly,
playoffs. And best of luck to you guys.
Out of everybody in the division, I want the Bears.
Shit out of us next week. Why not?
I want the Bears. Get first place. Beat us. Get first place.
We'll be a top 15 draft pick.
Yes, we will. We have a better draft pick. Top 15.
Well, like I said, if you know what the problem is right now,
right side.
If it goes the way we go, then it's almost written in there. Wouldn't you think that we're going to take a left tackle?
Or center. Or a
so.
center. You need a center.
Unless that center is the best center in the world, if he's a Frank Ragnow type that could go right in there day one, you don't take centers in the first round.
Okay.
I mean, he has to be really good for you to take a center. But we'll see.
We'll see. All right. We'll end it here, though, because I am at the end of my time that I can actually record stuff. So if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the Lions, this game, their future into the offseason. Until next time.